Marvin Sapp said he gonna get his money and y'all ain't leaving until he do. Let's talk about it. Welcome back everybody to Prescribed Truth. I'm Jamal Bandy, the one who seeks to distribute the truth that the doctor prescribes to the church and the world today. Coming with you from an article from BuzzFeed.com dealing with Marvin Sapp. He made the song Never Would Have Made It. And he letting us know that he never would have made it had it not been for your dollars. This article comes brought to you from BuzzFeed.com. And it starts off by saying people are absolutely losing it after a pastor had ushers lock the doors and demanded $40,000 from his congregation. You know, it's 2025 right now, and this clip was from 2024 in July. And he was at the 109th Pentecostal Assemblies of the World Convention, and this was in Maryland. And so people are finding out about this. It's just resurfaced, and people are going crazy. And you know what? I'm glad. I am so glad that this clip resurfaced so people can see how these people are in these circles and how it trickles down into other Pentecostal circles. It ain't just Marvin Sapp. Let me just tell you this now. This is not just the Marvin Sapps of the world. This is a lot of these Pentecostal apostolic churches that do this kind of stuff. It ain't for $40,000. True enough. Because you know what, when you have a less number of congregations or whatever it can be, you can't be asked for no 40 G's. But they do ask for a whole lot of money at these conferences, at these conventions, what they call these things, at these convocations and all this stuff to raise money. That's what it's about, raising money, inviting all these pastors from around the world or around the country. And guess what? Somebody got to pay them. Somebody got to pay for their hotel. And who you think is doing it? It's coming from the church. It's coming from the people there who's going to be giving money, giving their offerings, sowing quote unquote seeds. Don't let me just go down that rabbit trail of how I feel about that kind of teaching about sowing the seed. So according to the article, after he explained he just paid $2,000 for renewing his ordination and licensing, Marvin asked the congregation for donations in a manner that didn't sit right with many people. And so there's a quote here. And I'm showing all this stuff on the screen, so I hope you can see it too. There's 1,000 of you. I said, close them doors. Ushers, close the doors. Close the doors. Close the doors. Now, all of this is going to make sense. As I'm reading these quotes, I want you to think about the quotes here and what's being said and when he has this response to all this backlash. I want you to hear this. There's 1,000 of you. I said, close them doors. We all going to leave together. That's the hope. We all gonna leave together. Don't nobody try to leave. I'm adding that extra part. The quote was, we all gonna leave together. And then the other quote, y'all ain't going no place but to the restaurant. So notice these quotes. Notice what's being said. And this is nothing new in these type of circles, guys. It ain't nothing new. A lot of these apostolic Pentecostal churches that do this kind of stuff, these Church of God in Christ, all them, they do all this when they're trying to raise money. This is stuff they do. It's manipulation. It's compulsion. The stuff that the Bible talks against when it comes to giving. But that's what they do. There's 1,000 of you tonight, and those that are watching, it's 1,000 that are watching online. If I get 1,000 online to give this, if I get 1,000 in the sanctuary to give this, that's $40,000 tonight. I'm challenging each one of you down here to give a $20 seed. Okay? So we're hearing that, right? This is what he's saying. His whole thing is, it's 1,000 of you here. It's 1,000 probably watching online. If everybody gives $20, that's $40,000, right? Because, you know, you do the math. If 1,000 people in the room give $40, then it's $40,000. But he don't want to ask them for $40 each. $20, everybody should be able to do $20. Who comes to church without $20, right? And who's watching online who ain't got $20 to give it through online? Easy. I am particularly laughing and tickled at this one tweet that came from this person called Carrie, or I think Carrie with a K. It said, LMFAO, Marvin Sapp ain't never been wrapped too tight. So I'm not surprised that he held that congregation hostage until they gave 40K. Never would have paid it. Oh, yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. If that's a ma'am, I don't know. Yeah, never would have paid it. I would have went home with my $20. I guarantee you that. Because the Bible tells me not to give out of compulsion. So once you start telling me what I ought to give, I'll guarantee you ain't getting that. You gonna give whatever I purposed in my heart. And once you done said that, I'm purposing in my heart not to give you a doggone thing. Yeah, because you're not gonna manipulate me and give my money. So after the clip went viral and resurfaced, Marvin Sapp issued a response. Now his response, guys, is telling. I mean, the kind of backflips he took in this to try to get away from what he actually did is telling. And I hope people pay attention to it. And I hope that will cause people to steer clear of Marvin Sapp. Okay? Look, guys, we got musicians who are talented. And I understand that he can sing, he makes good music. Wonderful. But you don't trust men like this in your pulpit. You don't. You don't. Because obviously he don't believe what he's teaching. Because he said he never would have made it without you talking about God. But yeah, he thinking that, hey, I'm doing the math in here and I need y'all to give up 40,000. I just spent 2,000 on my license and ordination. I need some of that back. Now, this is what he said. Guys, I want you to really listen to his response, okay? This is interesting. Remember what he said. Remember the quotes. The quotes was, it's 1,000 of you in here. It's 1,000 of you watching online, okay? You ain't going nowhere but to the restaurant. Hey, it's 1,000 of you in here. Close them doors. Close them doors. That's what he was saying, right? Okay, we remember that. Don't forget it. Matter of fact, while I'm reading this, I'm going to put on the screen the screenshots of what he was quoted of saying, okay? I'm going to put those on the screen. I'm going to put those on the screen. All right, so you see him somewhere up there. And I'm going to read to you what he is saying that he was actually doing in that moment. Let's hear from Mr. Sapp. The article says, on his Facebook page, Marvin said in the lengthy response, some have taken issue with the particular moment when I instructed the ushers rather firmly to close the doors during the offering. To those unfamiliar with the church context or who may not regularly attend worship gatherings, this has been misinterpreted as holding people hostage as well as offensive. Now, let me stop here. I take offense that he would even say that's the reason why some people have a problem with this. You telling me that people who attend church regularly would think this is okay too? No, I don't know where you come off at thinking that. That ain't true. No, everybody who understands the scriptures and understands the Bible concerning giving would find this wrong. Okay? Yeah, people who understand that type of church type or even would still have a problem with it. Because it ain't all churches who do stuff like that. And I hope anybody watching this understand. His response is not speaking for all churches. It can't be. I won't let it be. He ain't speaking for nobody who's familiar with church contexts, who's familiar with regular purpose or regular services and worship. He ain't speaking for all of us. He's not. Because I attend services regularly. I understand the church context, and I still find fault with all of this. So it's amazing to me that he wouldn't say, well, let me talk to people who do understand church context, what I'm saying. No, he's trying to say if you have a problem with this, then you just don't understand church. If you have a problem with this, you don't understand, you don't attend church regularly. So he said people misinterpret it as holding people hostage as well as offensive. But that was never my intent. The truth is, when finances are being received in any worship gathering, it is one of the most vulnerable and exposed times for both the finance and security teams. You know why? Because y'all ask for so much money instead of just saying, hey, everybody just give according to what you purpose in your heart. You know what? Try that. Try that. Marvin Sapp, anybody else who follows that kind of stuff and that rhetoric, how about you try that during the offerings time? Pass the plate around and just say, hey, give according to what you purposed in your heart to give and let that be. Try that. Because you know what? The people who attend churches regularly and during offering times, they ain't sitting there watching the doors, making sure people ain't trying to steal nothing or people ain't getting hurt or the case may be. Because don't nobody know what nobody got because people are giving what they already purposed in their heart to give. If you sit there and say, hey, I need 5 people to give me $50 and those 5 people stand up, well, somebody know, they got money. That's 5 people that got at least $50 on them. I wonder how much else they got. If you're talking about protecting people and the security, like, yeah, okay, well, we know the church at least bringing in, we got 5 people bringing in $50. Okay, I got an idea what the church bringing in tonight because everybody else gonna give something too. If I can just get my hands on that bucket, I may be able to get me some cash. Yeah. But how about you just say, everybody give according to what you purpose in your heart and let that be. Just follow the scriptures. But that's, hey, you can't raise no 40 G's off that. Or can you? If you find this content helpful and want to support, here are some ways in which you can do so. By joining our Patreon, you'll receive exclusive content, early access to videos, and much more. Or if you just want to help spread biblical truth, liking, sharing, and subscribing goes a long way. You can also feel free to check out our merch store. The link is also in the description. So if you want to be a part of this mission, check out the links in the description below and let's spread this truth together. Now, back to the video. Then he goes on to say, movement during this sacred exchange can be distracting and at times even risky. My directive was not about control. It was about creating a safe, focused, and reverent environment for those choosing to give and for those handling the resources. Reference to quotes, guys. Reference to quotes. I don't see anything in those quotes about, hey, just trying to create a safe environment, for the people choosing to give and the people who collecting it. No, it's about you staying in here so you don't leave so you can collect this money. Yo, you think you a sly one. You think you a sly one, Mr. Sapp, but no. I may have been born at night, but I wasn't born last night. He says, unfortunately, in this social media age, snippets are easily shared without context, and assumptions are quickly made without understanding the full picture. Conferences have budgets. Now let's pause right here. Okay? Now, what we have are quotes that you said. That's it. Quotes you said. About locking doors, closing doors. Matter of fact, that's what he said. Close the doors. Close the doors. That's what he said. And then you're saying people taking it out of context and need to see the whole service or the whole picture. Well, sometimes a snippet can give you just enough. If I got a snippet of someone walking out of a store without paying for something, it's a snippet, but I can take from that snippet that they stole something. I don't need to know the reason why. I don't need to know if they were suffering anything. All I need to know then is that they did actually steal something. That's it. You only get it from a snippet, but it's there. And in yours, though it was a snippet, it was there that you was being manipulative and controlling over $40,000. You was counting them pockets in the room. That's what you was doing. So we know conferences have budgets, right? That's true. They do have budgets, but that's the problem with all of this stuff. And this is why I have issue with all of this. There are biblically sound places that hold conferences. You know what they do? If they're going to charge tickets, they're going to charge tickets. And they say, hey, this is what we have come. This is what we have come speak. This is what we're charging for entry. And just do that. But when you have these conferences and you claim it's for free, but really you're trying to get people to give it on the offering side and you calling it a seed, when really all it is to pay your budget. Hey, but be upfront with people then. Be upfront with people and let them know, hey, we got Marvin Sapp coming in town and we're trying to raise a budget. Entry fee, $50. Entry fee, $20. If you're going to watch online, $20 to watch this online. People can choose to watch it or don't watch it. Come or don't come. But the problem is, this is how it's manipulation. You guys want people to be in the seats and you want to say it's free. So then you could try to manipulate them in the seats to give their money they probably wouldn't have given had you told them there was an entry fee to get there. Or if this was a fee that you was looking to get from them. Hey, we want you to come, but just know we're going to want $20 from each of you when you come. See, if you be upfront with all that, part of some people ain't going to come. And that's your problem. But see, the thing is, if you was truly trusting in what you say you believe in, that wouldn't matter. You would just let people know and you'll let God deal with the rest. But the problem is you let people come in there and you manipulate them, do all this high emotional stuff going on and manipulate them into giving you money. And when you realize you ain't got what you was looking for, then close the doors. Close the doors because we're going to raise this money today. I've been in churches before where they passed the bucket around. They counted the money and they saw that it wasn't what they were looking for. And they come out, hey, we are about $100 shy of our goal tonight now. I need somebody to reach deep in them pockets. Reach deep and trust God. I can't stand that kind of stuff, But that's what people do. Manipulation. And so he says conferences have budgets. Churches have budgets. And people have budgets. It's like, hey, we all got budgets, but guess what? I got a budget for my home, but I ain't sitting there asking everybody to come to my house to give me some money to go towards my budget. I handle my business. That's what you're supposed to do. And church is the same way. Churches, you know how many people come in your congregation. You know how much offerings you receive on a daily. If you're asking people to give according to their heart, you got an idea of what your sheep can do in the church, and therefore you budget accordingly. You don't live and operate outside of your means. That's what you do. If you got a conference coming on and you know how much you need to be able to have it, well, you need to be letting people know up front. This is what we got going on. We need to pay for people's travel, A, B, and C. We would love if you would come with a $20 seed or $20 gift, whatever the case may be. If you can, we greatly appreciate it. And let that be. Yeah, everybody got budgets. But what you talking about here is not because you got a budget, it's manipulation. And once again, he trying to make it seem as if, hey, I'm just doing, hey, hey, we got budgets. We got things we got to pay for, Anyway, I keep beating that dead horse. As the assigned ministerial gift for this international gathering, one of my responsibilities was to help raise the conference budget. That's not manipulation, it's stewardship. I'm going to need him to go back and understand what stewardship really is. Yeah, because for somebody who's been in the church context for all these years and who regularly attend worship services for all these years should really understand what stewardship is concerning the church than what he attempted to do last year in July. And it's good this stuff come to light because people need to see. This is why it's important. This is why biblical exegesis is important. This is why understanding what the scriptures actually says concerning how church functions and how the church leaders and all these things are supposed to go. This is why it's important. So people won't get taken advantage of by wolves. That's why. All right. So read your word. Look what the word says concerning these types of things. And you will find yourself moving further and further away from all these false teachers. You would. But he says it's not manipulation because these people have budgets and these things got to go. Hey, I was instructed. My job was to raise money. Then you got what you have, a show. This conference was a show, and yet you're manipulating people thinking it's about their spiritual growth when it wasn't. The conference was to raise money. And why not just say that in the beginning? That, hey guys, we want to have a conference, but it's to raise money. We're doing this to raise money. That's what it is. But they don't say these things. The Pentecostal circles and stuff like that, they don't be upfront with their members. It should go without saying. We know when conferences come in and people are coming in, they're going to try to raise money. We should know that. But they're not going to say it. They're not going to say it. They're advertising, oh, you're going to come get something from God. Oh, come enjoy the goodness of God. Come get what you need from God. It ain't about that. It's about raising money. It's about finances. All right. And conferences are a good way for churches to raise money. That is true. But just be upfront about it. So when people come, they'll come with your $20 seed, and therefore you can get your money and move on. And you ain't have to do all that extra stuff. But because you decided to tell ushers to close the doors when you're raising your offering, now you got an uproar. You got people giving you backlash, and now you got to give an answer for it, and all of that foolishness. And then you try to cover it up as if you were just doing a good thing. Like, oh, I'm just trying to raise money. I'm just trying to do my job, And now, and to give him some credit, I'm going to say this. I'm probably the only one to say this about Marvin Sapp. I don't think that he was literally trying to lock people in the church. I don't think that if somebody really wanted to leave, that he was going to make them stay. I don't think that's the case at all. But churches do this kind of rhetoric to put people on the spot because they say closing doors. Well, if you get up, then you're going to be the one looked at funny because people see that you're trying to leave. It's going to make you look funny and make you look bad amongst your peers. It's all manipulative, and so churches do this. They do it all the time. When I say churches, I mean these false churches do this stuff. All these Pentecostal type churches who are always about raising money and everything else, they do all this stuff all the time. It ain't just start with Marvin Sapp. He ain't the first. He ain't going to be the last. They're going to do it. And as long as people keep giving money and being a part of these things, they're going to keep doing it. Because if it ain't broke, why continue? Why try to fix it? You should give according to what you've already purposed. When you left the house that day and you said you're going to church and you knew that the offering plate was going to come around, you should have decided right then, hey, I got $5 to give, I got $20 to give, I got $100 to give, or I got maybe $1 to give. You have to make that decision up in your heart. And you know what? Your heart can change when you get to church. You can be sitting there, you know what? I think I actually could give a little more. Or you may get there and realize, dang, I want to give 100, but I can only really give 50. hey, do what you purposed in your heart to do and rest in the Lord. Rest in Him at that point. Don't let these people manipulate you. Don't do it. So I don't know if he raised the 40,000. I didn't look that far into the article or into the situation to see if he actually raised the money back then or not. If he did or didn't, hey, good for him. Whatever. The point is, it's manipulation. It's evil. It's wicked. I hope people would turn from it and learn from this. All right, guys. Remember, this world is full of errors, but the only thing the doctor prescribes is truth. Until next time, blessings. Never would have paid it.